I've picked up these two cordless stick vacuums from Argos here in the UK. Um, Both of these have been bought with actual money, and they were both bought because they were wanted. So these aren't review units. Um, they're not going to get sent back unless they're faulty or they're really, really bad. Now, one of these is for me, my family, and another one is going to the mother-in-laws. I started opening one. I thought, well, I'm going to have to try both of them, and I have permission to open the one from the mother-in-law and have a go. So I started opening them both, and then I thought, you know what? Because this can be a really impartial, quick overview and review of the machines, I'd make a video for YouTube. So we have the Henry Quick and the Dyson V8. I believe these are two of really the most popular. Well, I know the V8 is one of the most popular cordless stick vacuums in the UK, and very quickly the Henry Quick is starting to gain a bit of momentum because it's unique bag operating system and the fact that it's again, I know Dyson is a British brand, but now they've taken basically everything out of the UK, whereas Numatic, that own Henry, they are building everything inside the UK, except for this at the moment because they're getting the factory ready to move production from China into the UK for these. So these will be made in the UK, as are all the other Henrys and Numatics, etc. I actually started opening this one, and I've already tried this one, and then that's when I had the bit of epiphany to see if we could compare them. So we'll start on this one just because I've already opened this, and then we'll move over to the Dyson V8. Then when we've opened both of them, I'll let you know which one I bought and why. As this is the one that I'd already opened, we will start with this, as I mentioned. I've put things back kind of how they were in the box, but obviously it's quite a nice retail box. The Dyson is just brown, but this has got all the imagery and the printing on there, what it does, dust-free emptying, clean dirt disposal, cordless, and then down the side you've got how to empty the pod, the powerful cleaning, the bigger capacity than the empty canister ones, and the pods are all made from recyclable material, etc. And then when you open it up, this was covered in paper, which I do have right next to me. Like I said, these are opened. And also you have a don't get the battery wet, your full instruction manual. You have the main machine with the bag already inside of it. So if we just take the main wand out, this just comes out at a bit of an angle, like so, and this doesn't have the battery attached to it at the moment. It is got a bit of heft to it, but I haven't felt the Dyson V8 yet, so I'm not really too sure how heavy or light, what this compares to. Being typical Henry, this main unit bright red, there's old Henry's face on there. In here we did have the pods, which are obviously the empty bags, screw kit for fixing the bracket on the wall that you can hold the Henry Quick up with. There's also an air freshener pod, which I'll show you in the machine because I've already put that in and it's amazing. And also we had these wand attachments in there, crevice tool and like a upholstery slash hair grabber tool. The pod, just to mention, that actually came in the machine from the factory like that. I did not put that in. That was already done, which is really, really nice. Just shows you, I guess, how it goes in. And then we've got our main powered brush head and brush roller, the bracket for the wall, and then already out of the box is the battery, which is now fully charged up, and the extra attachment for the handle so that you can extend it and maybe make it a bit easier to use. And that is everything. So I will just stick it together, which is really very easy. I have only got one hand. I haven't got my camera on a mount, but it is super easy to do. as with any vacuum, it just clips in like so, very easily. And then same, the quick release clips down here. Obviously you've got the power connection for the motor and the clip to keep it in place. And there we have it, the full Henry Quick. This is not the pet version, so it doesn't have the small motorized tool with it, but I think this one was £229 in the Black Friday sale, and the Dyson V8 was £270. So now we've opened this one, we will open the Dyson from fresh and see what we get. Okay, so now we're with the Dyson V8. I've undone these just off camera because I need two hands to do those. Hopefully I can do everything else one-handed. Let's open the box and see what we're greeted with. Nice and compact as expected, being in such a small box. We've got the, it's completely regulatory compliance and warranty information. Okay, get rid of that. James Dyson Quick Start Manual, obviously. Okay, so what we got here, that's very similar to the Quick Henry. I think there's probably going to be quite a few similarities with the tools. You will get more tools with the Dyson. I haven't quite fleshed out all their tools for the Henry just yet. You've got your dusting brush in here, large upholstery tool. We've got the main stick, which is seems to be a smaller diameter than the Henry, about the same length though. What do we have here? Okay, so this is the charging station, which looks to be a charging station mixed in with the wall mount dock stand. Pull this out nicely. Here is the main motor head. Okay, so this is the soft floor. This is the hard floor head, so it can polish and bring up anything on hard floors, laminate, tiles, etc. And then we have the brush head. So as mentioned, you obviously get a lot more accessories with the Dyson than you do the Henry, which I don't know whether you see that as better value for money or more to go wrong or whatever. But then again, this was $270 and the Henry was $229, so you can buy a few accessories for it with the extra money. Looks very good. So head's very interesting. Got that sort of blade to catch things as it goes across the floor. Pick up, and then hair removal vanes, which is quite interesting. See if any hair gets wrapped around there. And then the small anti-hair tangle accessory. So you do get the full suite of things with this, which is very nice. Now I will have to say I'm very surprised at how small the main unit looks. We haven't taken off this yet. Let's have a look. Okay, so feels good in the hand. Oh, the battery's already installed. Do you have to keep your finger on the trigger to use it? I think you do. Okay, that's different to the Henry. I do think that the Dyson looks nicer. I think it does look more, I don't know, I don't say more current or more whatever, but it just does look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. You see them side by side, what they look like. So the Henry is quite a bit bigger, but you do have that huge waste capacity, which is really very nice. So I think what we'll do is we'll put the Dyson together and we will do a few test runs on this relatively new carpet, and I will give a very quick first initial impressions. This won't be a full review, because I just want to see what we get with each of the machines and how they behave when they're brand new, and then maybe we'll revisit them in the future to see how myself and the mother-in-law are getting on with them. So give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back. First off, we're going to have a go with the Dyson V8. The controls are quite a bit different to the Henry. With this, you have to hold on to the trigger to keep the vacuum cleaner on, and in order to switch to like low power and maximum power, you have to flick this switch over. So first off, I'm going to try it on the lower power mode, which will get you the better battery runtime. I'll put those on the screen for you because I do not know them off by heart. I also have noticed on the Henry you can turn the brush roll off, so when you're doing your hard floors the brush roll isn't spinning. Also, there isn't a pressure relief valve on anything on the Dyson. Again, the Henry does have. So, you know, do you need it with this or not? I do not know. But let's have a little quick go on the low power setting, and I'm just going to use the brush roll with brush roll to make it seem similar, okay, to make it as fair as possible. So let's have a little go. Seems to be reasonably quiet. It does seem to like push into the carpet, but this is one of those mallow mats you might have seen on the internet advertised. We absolutely love it. We've not had it too long, but we think it's great. Now we're going to try on the maximum setting to see how much of a difference that makes. Doesn't seem to make it any harder to push. I might have to try on like a standard carpet. However, it is agitating the carpet, as you can see the lines. Now we'll swap over to the Henry and see what that feels like on this carpet. Like I said, I have tried the Henry before I tried the Dyson, but I did try it on your standard medium pile type carpet in bedrooms, etc. Pretty much standard for what any household might have. So the difference between the Dyson and the Henry is that the Henry does not have a trigger at all. It has an on button, so you don't have to keep squeezing, and then you have the plus button for maximum power, and this will turn the brush roll off, so you don't have to bend down or do anything to turn it on and off to move between the different types of floors. So we will start this up in low power mode and see what it feels like on this carpet first. Reasonably comparable in sound, but I do think the brush head is more noisy on the Henry, that's for sure. Now it is agitating the carpet, but there's not got the individual lines that we saw that's left on the brush bar with the Dyson. Now we will just whack the temperature, whack the speed up to maximum. And we can really feel it sucking down into the floor now. It's a bit harder to push. On the carpet, which I'm going to go and try them both on that too, because this is nowhere near as hard as it got to push on the sort of standard carpet. So we'll head up there in a second. But to turn the brush roll off, just press this button here. and then it stops and it just turns into like your standard non-brush head so that you can do flat floors. I like that feature, that's for sure. So this is the more standard carpet that I was talking about. So let's give it a little go to feel how hard these are to push on full power and medium power. So medium power with the brush roller on. It's quite easy to push. As soon as we whack it on full power, you hear the change, and it becomes very hard to pull, and you can see the agitation there in the carpet. That does actually feel and look like it's getting a very, very good clean on the carpet there. Now let's try the Dyson. Okay, now with the Dyson on its lowest power, it feels not very hard to push, but like the Henry is agitating the carpet nicely, as you can see. Now let's put it on full power. So it is harder to push, but I will say this, it is nowhere near as hard to push as the Henry. So you can tell it's doing a decent job, but does that mean the Henry is doing a better job? Now they are really side by side and you can see the size difference. The waste bin is long ways on the Henry and it's upright on the Dyson. Now you can see that you only have that amount of space for your dust and the things that you pick up, whereas in the Henry you probably won't fill the whole bag, because I'm sure probably suction will get probably quite bad by the time you get to 3/4 full, but that's still a remarkable size difference compared to that space in the Dyson. I will let you know now that the Henry is the one that I bought. I bought it because of this dust bag configuration. We currently have a corded Dyson DC39 animal canister, and that's now 10 years old. I have just recently refurbished it with new gaskets and everything, but I am sick and tired of emptying these dustbins. I really am. The dust goes everywhere. You've constantly got to change the filters in them, and it's just so annoying. When I say change the filters, washing them out, I've bought a few to swap them over so that they can be fully dry before you use them again. And I wanted to try something different, and this is definitely different with its bag. So to empty either of these sticks, I take it you just pull on this flap or push on this flap here. Oh, right, okay. Oh, does it not open from underneath? Okay, I've just checked out the manual and I'm reasonably speechless, but I'm not. I am very surprised at how different these are to empty them out. So to do the Dyson, you do have to pull this up, and when you pull it up as high as you can and you pull that extra bit there, it will flick open and the dust will come out, or not in some cases, and you've got to go around shaking and then digging your hands in there to get it all out, and then to close it up just push it all down and it clips into place. Does that make it easier to clean this area of this first stage bit of the sort of filter out? Considering it doesn't really go anywhere, this is going to be a very, very messy thing to clean out once it's been used a bit. That is for sure. Okay, and then for the Henry Quick, well, it's quick. You push this lever, out that pops, and then if you do this over the bin, this just falls out into your bin, and there you go. And there's a nice little cardboard flapper seal that seals it up so that nothing falls out prematurely. But obviously this bag has not been used very much, so I'm going to put it back in. As you can hear, there's quite a bit in there. Quite a bit, not really. So I'll put that back in. It just slides in. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Slides in. Don't think it has to be any particular way in here, but I'll put that at the bottom. And that's how quickly it is to put a new bag in too. So there we go. Absolutely no other filters to clean out. The bag is the filter. It is a HEPA filter, and the bags are made out of recyclable material, and I believe biodegradable. So I think pretty good. The other thing that's worth mentioning about the Henry, which I quite like, is in the end here, if we pull this off, this was in a bag when I first opened it all up. Might need both fingers to get this off. Okay, so I've taken this rubber bung off, and in there is this little disc. These little discs are scents, so you can buy a pack of these. I can smell it very strongly now because I've taken this cover off, but the air comes through the HEPA bag, gets pulled through here, pulled through the bag, all your stuff sucked up, and then as the cleaner air comes through and out of here, it passes over this scent disc to give you a nice smell. Oh, nice little Numatic logo inside the bung. Don't know why that wouldn't be on the outside. I think that is actually quite a good mark of a brand, and I really like the design of this Henry Quick. If I'm honest, the red wouldn't have been my first choice, but I guess it is iconic. The red Henry. They do come in a Hetty. They also come in the commercial model, they call it, which is a nice metallic grey, very similar to the Dyson grey here. And they also do what they call the pet version, which is exactly the same, except it comes with a mini motorised head too, and that is a nice metallic blue. However, none of those are on sale for Black Friday, and I'm tight and I don't want to spend the money, so for £230 I'm very happy. This one was £270. I think the Dyson does look better, there is no denying it. Overall, for weight to hold them, the Dyson's definitely lighter. Definitely lighter. Whether that is due to the bigger bin, whether it's due to what looks like overall a bigger size battery, I will put some specs up, as I said, and just the fact that there's more material on this, I believe, than here. There's not too much in it. I mean, I can quite comfortably just hold that, both of them. The ones with the brush heads, let's have a look. Picking it up from quite a way. I think the Dyson is heavier. That's interesting. So I decided to buy the Henry because it was a good deal. I feel that it does offer better value for money than the Dyson, although the Dyson does come with the different accessories and brush heads. It comes with a small anti-tangle turbo tool and also the hard floor polishing scrubbing tool, which is still dry, it's not wet back or anything, and then the brush roll. The Henry does only come with the standard motorized tool, which isn't anti-tangle or anything. I should actually show you how to take that out, because that's quite good too, and I'll show you how to take it out of the Dyson. And I wanted the bags. I've had enough of the dust. Hopefully I'm not repeating myself. I will try and edit these things out. And the Henry, although this one is currently made in China, they are building a manufacturing plant to make this in the UK, as per all their other Henrys and Hettys, etc. I like the fact that it's going to be built in Britain, and I wanted to support a great British brand. I know Dyson are, but they have taken all their manufacturing away from this country and all those jobs. So, you know, that's more of a personal reason for me, but the biggest reason is I've had enough of cylinders. I've bagless machines, and I want to change everything to bagged, basically. And this is the only one that is like this. And I haven't had them for too long. Obviously, I've only got them today. But after trialing them and in between this and the videos, I've had a little go on both and really studied how they come apart, etc. And I really do think the Henry is superior. I really do. Which I'm surprised at. I am surprised at because this is their first stick. And Dyson have been around for a while. I honestly do not know. I know this is very popular and this has probably been out for some time now. So maybe the V10 or the V11, is there a V12 out? Might be better. It might be interesting to see what people think or have to say in the comments. Now let's show you quickly how to remove the brush rolls. So they are very easy on both machines. So with the Dyson, you just twist the end cap and it will spring out. And there you go. You've got your brush roll and you can take your hair out of it, clean it, wash it in soap, etc. And there you go. And to put it back in, just slide it in and then turn it around, it locks, boom. When it gets a bit older, a bit more grime in it, you can use a coin to open it up there. I think it's very good. I've not got anything bad to say about any of the brush rollers and the brush bars and the anti-tangles for Dysons. I think they are really excellent. Now for the Henry, this is going to get hair wrapped around it. I think that will get hair wrapped around it because it's not classed as an anti-hair or an anti-tangle. However, I think it'll probably do a good job keeping the hair away than this one. To take the brush roll out of the Henry, you push the button there, twist, and then out it comes. And as you can see, I've used it a bit. There's already hair around there, which I need to snip off. But then you just push it in, and this isn't egg, is it? So it's a good job of trying. Oh, I haven't got it on the thing at the bottom. So make sure it's seated on the bottom at an angle, and then push in. There we go. I hadn't done that before, so that's very interesting. With the Dyson, I've done many times before because it's the same as what's on the main vacuum that we already have. Now, I guess, is there any easy way to remove blockages on here? I'm not so sure. If there is a blockage in this hose here, to be able to get it out quite easily, you just pull up this tab and then out comes the hose so that you can really stretch and get in there. To put it back in, you just put it back in the hole, push it in as far as you're trying to do this one-handed, push it in as far as you can, and then push this down, and then it's in place again and won't come out. Swivels really nicely, but these also swivel very well too. Does it actually swivel as nicely as the Henry? I think this is much more effortless actually. Interesting. You really do not think about these things before buying one of these. Well, I don't anyway. Also on these brush heads we have no LEDs on the Dyson, but we do have LEDs on the Henry to allow you to see in those dark spaces underneath of the side tables and cabinets and things like that. Just trying to cover as much as I can as quickly as I can. The batteries on these, the Dyson has a 22.02 volt battery, the Henry has a 25.2 volt battery at 3000 milliamp hours and 2450 milliamp hours on the Dyson, so about just shy of 600 less on the Dyson. The Dyson and the Henry, again, I've got different ideas with regards to what the battery should be like. The Henry has a removable slide-off battery with one push of the button, it slides out just like on a drill or a cordless machine. So you can buy a couple of these if you want to, carry on vacuuming up. Whereas on the the Dyson, it is fixed in place. You're not hot swapping any of these batteries. You have to remove screws, and it's like a full-on replacement thing when you need to do it. With the Henry, there are no other filters to change, or at least none that I know of that you can access. It's all done by the bag. I don't know, there definitely doesn't appear to be any easily replaceable aftermotor filter. I can see material in there, but with the Dyson, you obviously have all the cyclonic filtration. Then you have the motor washable filter. I advise if you buy one of these, do buy a couple of these so that when you've washed one out, you can stick a dry one in and then rotate them as needed. And then the final stage, which I believe this would be the HEPA filter, is very easy to remove. Not entirely too sure if this one is washable, as it's paper, so I don't think it is. I think you would probably just need to swap them out, but I think that's only just to catch the final stage of whatever's coming out of the motor. I'm not too sure if these are brushless. They probably are, so hopefully no carbon that would come out of them like on older brush motors. So there we have my hopefully fast, quick initial thoughts and review of the Henry Quick and the Dyson V8. Let me know in the comments what you think of this, what you think of the machines. Do you own one of them? Do you thinking about one? Did this review sway you one way or another? And yeah, let me know in the comments. And if there's anything else you would like me to try with these, probably more the Henry, because that's the one I'm keeping. This one will be disappearing from our house any day, and I'll try my best for you. All right, thank you for watching. Bye bye.